Hello everybody and welcome back to Animal Crossing New Leaf. Today, I don't know what to yap about. I'm very tired. I mean, that's something in of itself to yap about. It's just, I'm tired. Haven't done, well, okay. I've done a lot today, but like I haven't done a lot worth talking about today. Steven, how are you anyway? Got some super cute stationery, so I just had to write you a letter with it right away. Want you some fancy and go out somewhere with me? Let me know. I mean, I dress kind of fancy all the time. I mean, this isn't exactly fancy, but it's close enough. Like, it's not unfancy. It's still a button-up that I should really have like an undershirt under, but I don't because that's too many layers, man. I don't even do that in the winter. You think I'm going to do that in like the late spring? I am just waiting for the moment it starts becoming boilingly hot. Although it hasn't yet. Hello, 2D, what's up? Let's talk. You might yet. You just moved in. It's right, I might have to compete for the spotlight with a new kid in town. Looks super cool and you should go over there and say hi sometime. I've already seen him. I already said hi. Margie! Bucko, you seem chipper as always. What can I do for you? Just want to chat? Getting pinched by a stag beetle's jaws would hurt, don't you think? Oh, I should get a stag beetle and keep it around for protection, like a watch bug. No problem. I don't know where I'm gonna find one of those unless I go to the island. Because, like... yeah, maybe the violin beetle counts as a stag beetle? I don't know. Oop, that's definitely a new fish. I have not had my fishing rod out. Nope, I know whose house this is. I'm trying to... wow. Darn it. There we go. Bunker. Ah, I'm so bad at this. Well, I almost had a new fish. Almost. To be fair, I'm just kind of bad at fishing in New Leaf. And I feel like it's just latency that's the problem. And I'm not even blaming like the headset latency there. It's just like controller latency. Because like I'm almost positive that if I was playing this on official hardware, which I really wish I could have done, Nintendo. I know saying that now doesn't matter. The Switch 2 has, you know, video output, which is great. It even somehow has video output in handheld mode, and I'm not entirely sure how that works, but that's great. But, even the Switch apparently had that, from videos I've watched anyway. But yeah, the 3DS does not have native video output, and it's really annoying. Okay, we now have a screen. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Oh, something just loaded. Don't know what just loaded, but something just loaded. I suppose one of the things I did today was, basically I spent some time, like, troubleshooting my issues with Path of Exile 2. And I've kind of narrowed it down to it's the shaders not compiling properly. And, like, it more or less just kind of reminded me of, jeez. why I like older games so much better. Like, older games, like even New Leaf, load their shaders and textures and all that stuff upon, like, first loading the game up. But they basically, like, as you can tell, New Leaf here only loads the shaders that I've encountered. It only loads the ones that are important. So there really isn't much loading time. Cheddar, hello, Parmesan. What do you want to talk about, Parmesan? Slaves. Go to my place sometime soon. At what time? That don't work for me. I'm way too tired. I apologize, Penelope. I'm just way too tired. But yeah, like, I've got it very much narrowed down to the shaders, and I've solved it by just kind of turning down the shader settings. The great happiness from the stars is attempting to visit you. Hey, Katrina can review your future and the way to capture fortunes untold for a mere 500 bells. Liz. I will have a seat. Ah, yes, it's coming to view. A police station with a full lost and found. In the corner, working at a desk, is the figure of a dog officer. This place I can see the signs. Yes, I can. I see good fortune upon items. Men's bottoms. Yeah, I got one of those. What does my butt have to do with anything? Why would my butt help me? Since you're already wearing a lucky item, yeah, I can't take my butt off. I think you'll be fine for today. May happiness find you and yours. And remember that bad times are just times that are bad. Indeed. But, yeah, like, it's super annoying that, like, all of that was happening at the same time that they had their, free weekend. Because, like, especially from, like, the perspective of, they obviously want people to buy their game, but would you buy a game that's crashing every, like, minute? Like, if PoE 2 crashed that much for me before I bought it, I wouldn't have. I would have spent my money elsewhere. I may not have even given it a try on its full release. Because, like, that's the kind of thing that can just make you go, no, this game is not worth my time. Like, that was a very unfortunate thing for them to run into. And, like, especially where it feels, especially where it's tied to shaders, it feels so preventable. Because, like, the game already looked good. They didn't need to mess with the visuals any. Yet they apparently did. And that caused them a bunch of problems. Which, honestly, I feel like that's a pretty good, you know, baseline of if it works, if it looks good, and no one's complaining about it, leave it alone. But yeah, I basically got thinking earlier again about basically the premise of, you know, games were just kind of better when they had to work within limitations. And, like, I kind of started thinking with, like, that, because it's, I mean, it's a fair statement to make, I feel. Paula, what's up, girl? Whoa, I have some rumors about your silver nugget, but it's really true. You got the goods. Lucky, every time I try to buy stuff like that, they're always sold out. Yeah, I got an idea. How about you sell me yours? I could go as high as 3,600. Alright. Is it really okay? Give me a freebie. What? Dude, seriously? Yeah, just take it. You're the best. What a guy. Thanks, sister. No problem. I really need to, like, go through the default town tunes again and grab the one that my brain always associates with New Leaf and set it back as the town tune. Because, like, there's one of the default town tunes that I just always associate with this game. I do wonder if the violin beetle is a stag beetle. I could look that up while this, like, cycles through its stuff. Let's see. Yeah, this does not... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it does. And I don't want to be like, hey, I got your bug, and then that not actually be the bug, because I doubt I'd get a second chance to give the right bug. So, Annalisa, fancy seeing you here, Steven. Glad I ran into you. No. Yeah, I played a little bit of Wild Assault today, and I actually managed to get a clear of the PvE mode. It was close, but we did it. From reading some patch notes, they did make some changes to that mode. One of which is, as long as you make it, like, I think it's to like 80 or 90% progress. Basically, if you make it to like the final wave, you get pretty decent rewards from it. Which is so nice. Because, like, before, if you didn't beat the PvE mode, no rewards. You did not get any rewards. Like, you still technically earned progress on, like, Battle Pass stuff and all that, but you didn't get the actual rewards for taking part in the mode. Hiccups. And, like, that was kind of annoying. Especially with, like, I have had so many, like, 98, 99% losses where we've almost got it, but somebody stops doing their job and it just falls apart in the last, like, minute. Like, I've had instances where, you know, everyone, like, okay, I'm gonna talk with Sapes here first. I'm good, I just want to chat. It's Wednesday, or hump day, as they call it, whoever they are. Sometimes the hump looks huge, but we'll try to get over it. Indeed. But, okay, this PvE mode, there's basically, you're defending a thing from a horde of, basically, It's a zombie horde shooter kind of deal. Like, it's corrupted anthros coming in trying to take your device. And there's two ways that they can do that. One, there's a collar that basically when you kill the one with the collar, it drops the collar and another one will pick it up. And if that one reaches the device, it'll start beep booping it and try to take it. Like whichever one's wearing the collar. And there's also a tank that will drive through the area, and it can destroy the machine that you're defending. So, this tank only shows up on wave, I think it's 4 and 6. 6 being the final, 4 being like the halfway point, kind of. I know you would think 3, but wave 1 is kind of nothing, so, you know. But, the final wave, there's 2 tanks that spawn. The first one, generally, you can all work together to kill it. The second one, unless you've gotten to the point where the collar is on the path where the tank is gonna go, somebody has to keep an eye on the collar, or else you'll just lose to that instead of the creatures, like creatures. Like, and sometimes, you know, that person watching the collar will be me. And then I'll look over and it's like the tank is nearly at the base. And I'll be playing like the lowest damage character. Like, I'll have my usual. And it's just like, really guys? How are you failing here? Like, my actual completed run, I was definitely playing the character I was playing wrong, and I still almost took second place on the team. And it's just I don't really know how the character I was playing works. She's like kind of like a Japanese fox with a focus on melee stuff, but I don't fully understand the melee stuff, so I was just shooting things. And I mean, it was working. I almost got second. Like, that's kind of how frustrating that mode can be at times, though, where it's just like, you really need your teammates to know what they're doing, and anyone who's played an online shooter of any variety before can tell you, yeah, that's a bad time. That's just a bad time. I was kind of hoping where you can set up a like private lobby of that mode that you'd be able to fill out the teammate slots with bots and just play with bots, because, I mean, you know, the bots may not be very effective, but they, in theory, be able to do the job. After having played the mode a few times, yeah, no, you would just never win with bots. It would never happen. There's way too much to be keeping track of, and the bots would be spreading themselves too thin. Because it's just 4 of you facing down a pretty sizable horde. Like, but yeah, it's still fun to play that mode. It is one of those cases of like, you're dealing with basically the same thing every time, so it does get a little annoying when you queue into it and you see people higher level than you not knowing what they're doing, because it's like, this is like the same thing every time. How do you not know? And the answer there is they probably just haven't played that mode before. They've just been playing the game a long time and are level capped. You know, they're done everything else and they're just playing that mode because it's new. Which is respectable. You know, I give them a bit of a pass. Like, I turned off the chats completely, so like I can't even like give them trouble even if I wanted to. It's just because like I turned off the chats because like it's a chat in a shooter. Like I don't want any part of that. I do want part of talking with Barbara, because we haven't talked with her yet today. Barbara! Hello, pal. Nice to get a few things done, isn't it? Is this what you wanted? Let's chat. Or something from Paula. I should have returned long ago. Would you mind returning for me? I'm a little too busy to take it over. I can do that. That's like my last inventory slot, but yes, I can get it done by the end of today. That's fine. Especially if Paula is still where she was. Like if she's still kicking around up here, that'd be nice. It does not look up. Nope, there she is. I was gonna say, it does not look like she's still up here. Yo, pal, how you doing, sister? So what's up? Delivery. What could it be? It's a gift for thee. Oh wow, I looked this to Barbara a while back. She wrapped it up real nice. The way a grown-up would do it. Oh, hey, know what's inside? If you guess right, I'll give you something good. It's food. I think it's food, right? Let's open her up. Man, too bad. Our answer was clothing. Yeah, it's clothing more often than not. Thanks for going to the trouble of bringing that to me. You're a big help, sister. And now we go find Barbara again. I have also spent a good decent chunk of today just traveling in Eve. Tough again, aren't you, busy pal? So you want it, I delivered it. Delivery, thanks. Paula react. Here's the scoop. She was glad I returned it. It's music to my ears. Why, it's even folk music. I was scared she'd come out of my house and turn the place upside down looking for it. I think she was thinking about doing that. You know, given the fact that she's kicking around over by your house. I think she was considering it. But yeah, I decided I want to go back to running some Sisters of Eve missions. And I was going to just buy an Apocalypse and just use the Apocalypse for it. And I might honestly still do that. But I was like, you know what? I've got a low-key just kicking around that I'm doing nothing with. That's already fit out for running missions. Why don't I just go grab that and move that to a Sisters of Eve hub? Pretty reasonable thought. Except my low-key was like 60-some jumps from where I was when I had that thought. And then to get that back to the Sisters of Eve hub that I wanted to take it to was another like 60-some jumps. This was an hour and 40 minutes of traveling. I don't know how the space truckers do it. But I am very tired, so that's gonna be it for today. I probably didn't even finish half the thoughts I started today. It's fine. It happens. I'm very tired. So with that, thank you all very much for watching. And hopefully I shall see you back here tomorrow for more Animal Crossing New Leaf. See you all then.